Okay, so here we have a short victory playing as Sylvania using Isabella. I always prefer to play as Isabella rather than play as Vlad because my favorite playstyle is the Isabella vampire squad. You can see we don't even have any military units per se. We have Vlad and a couple of White Kings on the ground, and everybody else, everybody else is just a vampire. So, of course, we start down here at Drakenhof. You also start with Schwarzhofen, and then you're just going to take out Tempelhof in this region. Then your choice on what to do depends on whether you want to seal off the back here with the dwarfs, or just go straight for the Empire, and that's what I did. I went ahead and I vassalized Stirland pretty easily. I mean, they were getting their butts kicked, and I just made them an offer of vassalization, and they took it. So then I took out Averheim in Needling, and then down here, Nuln declared war on me. And so I took them out too, and you can see the progression was basically just to go around this way, all the way up to Altdorf. I role-played this one a little bit. I used very, very few military units. I used the vampire stack with Isabella, and I abused the blood kiss system. I didn't use the farming technique that Vlad can do. Instead, I took advantage of Isabella's skill tree. So let's go and look at her first off. So as a legendary lord, you have the option or the combination of making her a magic user, combatant in here, and then she's got some special skills in here. The skills that I like this one here, hero action cost, success chance, and action success chance of enemy heroes. So I follow her around usually with a swarm of necromancer heroes. Because what it doesn't tell you here in the Blood Kiss system, Bloodlines consume Blood Kisses acquired by killing leaders in battle, assassination, or vassalizing. Turns out wounding also generates a blood kiss. So if you look in here, I've done what? This is 3 points, this is 6, so 9, 18, 27, about 30 blood kisses worth of awakening. I don't ever awaken the blood dragon because I find that their skill tree has nothing to do with anything I want. I really only got the Strigoi because it was a little bit, this is 9 points. This takes 12, so I just wanted to get as many bloodline hero lords, because all the lords I have out here are bloodline lords. I don't have any regular ones. So in her skill tree, I like to use that one. I use this to add 2 more vampires, this to disable flying enemies. Other than that, it's all about the combat for her. I fly her around with a swarm of vampires, 2 of them at the beginning, usually the death ones I make into mages so that I can lord snipe, and then the other ones, the death ones, the shadows ones, I make them into combatants and I go for the combat line. But eventually everybody gets hunger, that's regeneration while in combat. Everybody gets Immortal Will, that has a cooldown but an infinite number of uses. When she is in an army with Vlad, she gets 50% healing on the battle cap on the healing. So I don't know if she should be able to get that somewhere else. Can't remember where it was, but that just means that these guys can just swarm into combat and fight. Vlad doesn't have his Flock of Doom anymore. I think that makes him a little less super powerful, but of course he still has Wind of Death. So you can still do quite a bit of damage. there are no major AoE spells other than that one there until you get the ladies up into Purple Sun and Pit of Shades Pendulum, which can take a while, but eventually you get there. So I used Isabella's skill tree to generate blood kisses, to generate these lords. I got really lucky. Mousillon out here, the Red Duke, he was down to just Mousillon and half an army. He was getting just destroyed. And he offered to let me confederate him, which I did. And after I confederated him and took Mousillon, I traded Mousillon to, what's this fella's name? Kemmler, and vassalized him. He's been my vassal since about turn 10. Now, what I found about this is I really think the Red Duke is a good lord, and he's worth going for if you can get him. What I found, because I never really got him up this high a level before, is this portion of his skill tree right here. Upkeep for Graveguard, recruitment for Graveguard, and local recruitment turn for Graveguard units. Although, of course, I usually get the Graveguard by raising the dead. The Graveguard have 3 units. They have the traditional, they have the great weapons, and they now have the halberd version. I think that was added. I'm not exactly sure. But this here, cheap Graveguard. This one here, physical and missile resistance for him. And then this one, honor or death, damage resistance and leadership. So he's got 15 physical resistance, 20 fire, 20 spell, and 5 ward save. He's pretty good. And I've just started going down this line here. I don't really care about the night buildings, but this here is armor and armor piercing damage and bonus versus large. And then this one here, armor piercing damage and charge bonus. So, you know, he gets the Hellsteed. You can put him on a dragon if you want. He's pretty generic in terms of lore of vampires. But if you'll see here, all of this stuff is in this. You don't have to go through a second set to get him to Wind of Death and all of this. So that was a nice surprise to find out that he was a pretty good lord. If we're looking at the bloodlines, I think that the Lamian and von Carstein, those are the 2 that are the better ones. The Necrarch, then the Strigoi, and then Blood Dragon. I'm just not a fan. What do we have here? Strigoi. You want to look in here. This is where they're going to differentiate themselves from anybody else. So physical resistance for your Strigoi, hit points for your Strigoi, regeneration for your Strigoi, melee attack, weapon strength, and then down here, Claws of Morcane, armor piercing. They're designed to go after enemy lords. They have a crap ton of hit points. They come with spell mastery. The Bloodline Lords are very expensive. They're something like $1,500 to buy, and they're only available through the Bloodkiss system. But if you're just going to roleplay monstrous vampire lords tearing up the Empire, yeah, what else do you have to do? What else do we have here?
Yes,
yeah, the Lamians, they have this seduction, which is melee attack and speed for the enemy, a debuff, bonus versus infantry, perfect vigor. They just get into combat and fight. And then you've got, where's the von Carstein? They're from Carsteins. I don't actually like this. This is all tuned into bats and wolves. Bats, wolves, and Vargeists. Not units that I really use. What's this thing here? Oh, Guardian, okay. But they get the hunger right away, and of course the hunger is regeneration while you're in combat. So the lords were a lot of good fun. And other than when I grabbed a couple of armies near the end because I had a lot of money, it was basically just lords galore all day long. There were a couple of pleasant surprises in the buildings. The vampire version of the Altdorf special building here. First of all, this gets changed to Conclave for forbidden magic. So necromancers, recruit rate, capacity, recruit rank for vampires and necromancer. Some good stuff in here. All of it upgraded into this one. This one I particularly like here. Of course, I haven't had a chance to get there yet. unlock vampires, which I already have anyway. Control then diplomatic relations with the Empire in case you were going to vassalize everybody. If you go on to the long victory, you have to control the Empire, and you can do it through vassals. So that's one of the reasons you would want to go for that building, because it's going to allow you to vassalize if you want to. And then unlocks recruitment of Blood Knights and Blood Knights with lances. The one that I found was pretty surprising, I didn't know about it, was the vampire version of the Gnome building, which again allows recruitment of vampires, rank for the vampires, and then all sorts of Blood Knight bonuses. So if you're a Blood Knight guy, a cavalry guy, maybe that's what you'd like to go follow. I think the vampires are a terribly, terribly easy campaign. This one was very pleasant to me. I got powerful enough in here that these guys, these dwarves, Zufbar wanted to peace out with me, so I took that non-aggression pact. You can see Azag here. Azag doesn't like me, but he has never done anything like threaten me because he's been at war with major factions. He's finished off the dwarves recently. The dwarves down here, they got taken out pretty easy, so that wasn't something I had to worry about. Carrick peaced out with me, although they just got confederated, and I don't think he's too happy with me. So that's something I'll have to watch out for. I also traded some settlements to Durthu. So you can see here that I've got Durthu as a defensive ally. That's a great ally to have defensively. And to be fair to them, Stirland did their job. They chased down enemies all over the place. They still haven't gotten rid of this idiot, which meant that when I wanted to cross here, it took a lot of attrition. But the vampires, very easy to win. 38 turns. I started this campaign this morning, finished it in only a few hours. Even though you now still take attrition in non-vampiric corruption when you're in channeling stance, which you didn't used to, and even though Vlad has had his Flock of Doom removed, they're still ridiculously powerful, even if you don't just use the zombie swarms, because their hero stacks are fantastic. I don't think I ever got... Does she only get the one item? Yeah, okay, so she only gets the one item. Vlad gets two. He starts with them. So you get control and vampiric corruption. I did get a lot of cool little items. I don't think I got anything major. Or that I haven't seen before. I think that one was actually new. I was in the negative. I'd never seen one of those before, but every faction has that. You win a battle while you're in the negative. What's this one? Magic item drop chance. See, that's a couple of ones I hadn't seen before, I don't think. But that's mirror. Okay, I'm not sure I'd seen those before. I didn't get any interesting territorial areas. I don't know if that's something maybe the vampire counts don't get, so there were no locations of interest. And I didn't really get any interesting items. I didn't use a lot of them. They weren't really necessary. Again, really easy campaign. If you're just looking to roleplay, you do have to fight a lot of the battles until you get really powerful. Because just like Gelt, yeah, so 42 fights, I fought a third of the fights in this one, which that's way over usually 15 to 20%. Because if you're running around, until I just got that skill for her in her skill tree that gave me the 2 extra vampires, then made them and ran them over to where she was running around without those. It was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just 9 people in here. So the AI thought that I was going to lose all those fights. If you want to get vampires normally, the building that gets them is here. It's tier 4. And it unlocks them and gives you 1. So if you're playing as the other factions, getting vampires is very, very difficult. I'm not sure what the starting building is for Vlad. If he gets that same ability, let's go look. She gets 4 extra vampires, so she can start with 5 of them. take a
In the name
look.
of Magnus.
I'm not sure what he gets.
The von Carstein.
Yeah, the von Carsteins. But I think the first time I won a vampire campaign, I was playing as the zombie guy out east. God, I can't remember his name. I haven't won as Camera. That's the guy that I have to win as. I have won as Manfred, but I have not won as Kemmler. So that's probably next time, and that's gorgeous. Look at that. Is that supposed to be Manfred, or is that just a... I don't know. I wish these were in better quality. Okay, so what does he get? His special ability. Okay, so here capacity +1 for vampires. So he can do that to get 2 vampires. When she does it, she can get 4 extras. Plus she starts with 1, so she could have 5. But with Vlad, of course, you can gift this guy your ability, and you can slurp up all those extra blood kisses by farming Templehof. So I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was a good one. So go for the red count if you can get him, and go for Isabella. It's a little bit different than playing as Vlad, but I think it's just every bit as satisfying.